Teddy Cruz, Tim, he ate his Wheaties.
He did.
This morning, he ate his Wheaties. Let's play number 1 to start it off.
Understand that today's Democrats in the Senate, these are not your father's Democrats. There are no moderate Democrats left in Congress. Today's Democrats, when it comes to guns, their objective is to disarm law-abiding citizens. They simultaneously embrace policies that release violent criminals from jail. They're not interested in locking up murderers. They're not interested in locking up gangbangers. They're not interested in locking up violent criminals. Instead, they systematically support policies that release violent criminals. By the way,
yeah,
I love that. I love that so much. What an amazing opener. Like, did he practice? You think he practiced that? Yeah, the Democrats today aren't your daddy's Democrats.
That's something I've said for years. You know,
exactly.
I was just talking about, my last trip to D.C. and the fact that there really are no pro-gun Democrats left. The old moderate Democrats, the Joe Lieberman type Democrats, they're gone. They're just gone. There's no moderate Democrats. They're all wild left, many of them Marxist, and they're just absolutely just rampaging through government, destroying everything they can touch. And they obviously want to take away our Second Amendment rights. And he touches on another point I've said many times here, just as recently as yesterday. They need this carnage. They need this craziness, because this is how they're going to justify their extreme measures to take your rights away. So of course they're going to turn criminals loose. Of course they're not going to enforce laws. Of course they're going to do all this stuff that absolutely destroys our society, because that's how they're going to disarm you and subjugate you. That's the part he didn't say, but that's the end goal.
Oh, no, Tim, buckle up.
Okay.
Just buckle up, because it's coming. But you're exactly right. And I think a good intro or a good outro on this one individual clip, just because he's getting going, is these definitely aren't your daddy's Democrats. Because to your point, and full credit where credit's due, you've been saying this for a very long time, and I can fully support that you have been saying that for a long time. In fact, I opened with him basically saying that Ted Cruz was channeling Tim. Yeah, wait here in a second. When we get into these next clips, it's only going to be confirmed more, because I swear to you, when I was listening to this live, I was like, Tim?
You thought I'd mastered my Ted Cruz impersonation?
I was like, man, you nailed this. But yeah, no. So without much more dragging that point out, let's open up the can of whoop. So this is number 2.
You know what? We're not having a hearing on the impact of Soros prosecutors releasing violent criminals from jail. We're not having a hearing on carjacking in Washington, D.C., because the Democrat City Council lowered the penalty for carjacking, lowered the penalty for murder. We're not having a hearing on Congressman Henry Cuellar, a Democrat from Texas, who was carjacked in Washington, D.C. at 9:30 at night. We're also not having a hearing on the Antifa and Black Lives Matter riots across the country, because to Democrats, when stores are being looted, when police cars are being firebombed, when police officers are being murdered, that's not a crisis if they agree with the ideology of the criminals. Instead, their objective is they want to take away the firearm from the single mom who's taking the subway home at night, who that is the only prevention she has against the violent criminals.
Is that not perfectly succinct?
Yeah, he nailed it. I mean, it's absolutely true. But I have one thing I need to bring up, and it's really important. I cannot believe he invoked the mostly peaceful protests. It was not riots. Nobody got hurt. No. It was mostly peaceful.
Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't just big bonfires of freedom and happiness.
Yeah. It wasn't a violent insurrection or anything. It was just, people protesting. I mean, I forget, maybe the name, which of the many Democrat wacko leftists went out there and said, whoever said that protesting had to be peaceful, kill a few people, break a few eggs, burn a few buildings.
Yeah. I got you. One of those names, it rhymes with Shmosi, and she ran the house. That was one of them.
Okay.
And then
I wasn't sure if it was a talking head or okay.
Oh, no, no, no. So Pelosi said let them blow off steam because, it's just what people do.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct. And then one of the talking heads, you are absolutely correct. It was Cuomo on
there
CNN.
we go. Yes, now I can remember.
Yep.
I now have a mental picture of him actually uttering those words, and I was just blown away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, you are 100% correct. That mostly peaceful, no violence, not whatsoever. It was cold that night. We needed a bonfire.
Mm-hmm.
It was that was not violent because it aligned with the leftist ideals. I mean, that's what I love about what he said. And because if you think about that, that's where it is.
Yeah. Absolutely. And he went down a whole laundry list of things that they're not doing, of all the criminals they're not prosecuting, of all the stuff. But one thing he left out that he could have added, but there's so much more. And I'm not criticizing him for it, but just think, just think about San Francisco and the fact that they now, or not just San Francisco, but other jurisdictions where they've said that, shoplifting is, if you do it, it doesn't go over $750, it doesn't go over $1,000, then we're not really going to even prosecute that. And security guards, just go home, because if you touch them, we're going to charge you with a crime. And police will not respond, because as long as it's under this threshold. And what's happening now? All the businesses are leaving San Francisco and those areas because they can't conduct business, because it's just every single day they open their doors multiple times a day, they're getting robbed. And nobody will do anything about it. And this is a liberal mindset. Lord forbid you shoot somebody robbing you in one of these bastions of liberalism, because you'll get charged. The criminal won't be.
Oh, absolutely.
The criminal is going to, get a hero cookie and sent home. It's
not a hero cookie.
A hero cookie.
Not a hero cookie. Oh, man. That sounds not only delicious, but also unjust. I'm going to be honest. In your scenario, it sounds like it would just be terrible.
Yeah.
But you're right. Mm-hmm. You're 100% right. In San Diego, they just put out a city measure that passed that said security guards are not allowed to carry firearms.
Yep.
Because after all, it's just property.
Yeah.
They've lowered the pricing on the pricing. They've lowered the threshold on what can be considered actual theft. So what's a criminal going to do, Tim? Well, obviously, Tim, because this makes sense. They would just say, well, since it's $750, I'm not going to steal anymore because we lowered the threshold. That makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Or is it maybe, I don't know, Tim, maybe more likely that they'll steal $749, and since you put an artificial ceiling on what you can steal before there's consequences, you have to, one of two things. You have to be the dumbest person alive to believe that that's actually going to stop anything, or you are fully complicit in what's happening.
Oh, dude,
it's one of those two.
I know they're idiots, but seriously, what do you think is going to happen when you tell criminals that they can just go take up to a $750 or $1,000 worth of stuff and they won't be prosecuted? What do you think they're going to do? There's no rational person in the world to go, well, that should bring crime down. Right. I mean, who would think that? But this liberal mind virus, they think things like, well, they're only stealing because look what the evil right has done. They're oppressed. Yeah. They just need food. Mm-hmm. No, they're stealing handbags, sneakers, televisions and radios, and not radios, and people don't buy that anymore, but you know what I'm saying. they're
gramophones.
They're taking those gramophones and
but they're stealing Model Ts,
right? It's like, but
it's anything,
horse and buggies, everything,
not down.
Right? So exactly. It's just, what do you think's going to happen? Right? Of course, the criminals are going to be incentivized. They're going to go out there. Exactly. And this goes to my line, dude. There's no way you can look at that and go, oh, that's just an honest mistake. They tried something. It could have worked. It's just not. Yeah. No, nobody in the right mind to go, oh, that might work. Let's try it. It goes to my point that they want this chaos. They need this chaos.
Oh, and goodness gracious.
Yeah, because this is how they're going to get their totalitarian state they're lusting for. They need the chaos.
So here's
the radios.
Where we're at on second leg. The radios and the gramophones and the Model Ts and the horses and buggies. So here's where we are on 10 minutes into this episode. We've covered 2 clips of Ted Cruz. We've introduced liberal mind virus, hero cookies, and now they're stealing gramophones. Man, we're only halfway through. We haven't even gotten to the next part. But I'm so excited. You ate your Wheaties this morning. You like Ted.
I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, at least I caught myself when I said radio. Like, who buys radios?
You did.
I haven't bought a radio in like 100 years. Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. You're only showing your wisdom and experience.
Right.
Well, I tell you what. Let's bring it to the modern age again, and let's hit number 3.
Who that is the only prevention she has against the violent criminals that the Democrats are unleashing. And by the way, to give you an underscoring of it, look, We have a mental health crisis in this country. I've repeatedly introduced legislation to improve school safety, to invest to double the number of police officers in schools. Democrats objected. To invest $15 billion in mental health counselors in schools. Democrats objected. Their priority is not stopping the criminals. Their priority is disarming law-abiding citizens. And by the way, they call it a public health crisis because they want to put supposed experts in charge of disarming you. The Second Amendment in the Bill of Rights is not a public health crisis. What is a public health crisis is the crime rates that are skyrocketing because Democrats keep letting murderers and violent criminals out of jail.
Jeez.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, wow.
Can I get a Gavin Newsom on this one?
That's true, because it's true.
Thank you.
I think he watches Second Legacy. I really do.
He does. He does. Because that was right out of some of our episodes. I swear.
It's so true. I mean, this is stuff that we talk about typically, you know, in just the goofy gun grabber stuff. We cite these people and we show what they're thinking and what they're doing and what their objectives are. And he just basically said it out loud, you know, basically saying exactly what we've been saying all along. They don't care about safety. If they cared about school safety, I mean, we actually have them out there. We've documented this. They're out there saying security doesn't work. Security doesn't work. It's dumb. Just take the guns away. Because when you go to them and say,
school shooters industrial complex.
But before we start depriving people of their rights, how about we try this? Seems reasonable, right? No, not to them. No. Just go straight to shredding the Constitution and Bill of Rights.
Absolutely.
You know, we're just going to put you in a rubber room, lock the door. You can't hurt yourself in there. Enjoy life.
But you'll be safe.
Yeah, but you'll be safe.
We'll put food under the door. You'll be so safe. It'll be the safest safe you've ever safed. It'll be amazing.
I'll take my, you know, dangerous freedom over tyranny. Just call me crazy.
Right, dangerous freedom. America. Yeah. I mean, like, the thing in wrapping this, you just saw, if you're watching The Beautiful People of the Second Legacy, you just saw a sitting senator literally say everything that is the exact state of what's going on right now. Because Ted Cruz, we covered it on this channel, he has put forward bills that are to fund mental health. He has put forward bills that are to harden schools. And it wasn't just Democrats who shot this down. It was Mr. Chris Murphy who shot this down. Mr. Gun Control in the Senate. He's the one who actually killed it. So all of these things of where they're talking to you about, man, it's all about safety and the gun violence epidemic. It is all orchestrated towards their end goals. They do not care about the thing that they're purporting to care about. They care about the end goal. And I'm not the more conspiratorial side of things, but you can easily look at their actions and say, yeah, they're up to something. And I love that he just said it. He just flat out said it.
Yeah.
Go team.
It's absolutely true. Everything he said is absolutely true. And everything you just said is absolutely true. They don't care about anything. It's not about safety. It's about gun control. That's why they skip right past every proposal. Like, well, let's harden the schools. Nope, just take the guns. Let's try some mental health. Nope, take the guns. No, we're going to shut down any other proposal. Just take the guns. Because they have they just got to get the guns away because they got to push their Marxist agenda forward. They got to get us disarmed so they can continue on the path of just, if you want to know where we're going, folks, get on X, follow some of the Chinese news report sites that post, because that's what I've been doing. It is scary what's going on over there. And what's even more scary is the fact that we're starting to mirror that behavior here. And to get to the point that China's at, this government needs to disarm us first, because if they push us too hard, they know we can fight back. They need to take away that threat of us fighting back so that they can impose their will on us. In the end, we're just a number. Go to that. Go to the matrix. We're a battery, folks. We just power the cog. We're just a battery in the cog of the machine that feeds these people, gives them their power, gives them their wealth. They don't care about your rights. They don't care about your safety. They don't care about anything. Just give me money and power and shut up or die. And that's all they care about. And he just peeled the whole blanket back so you could see what was laying there in bed with you.
Oh,